What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So it's the first week of the new year and there have been a couple of exciting makeup launches already. I received a few really exciting things that I've been anticipating for a while in PR, and I wanted to try them here with you on my channel today. Just kind of casually sit down, try them for the first time, do some lip swatches, and then take you with me throughout the rest of my very low-key day to show you how these items sit on my skin as I go about my business. There are three main items that I want to try today. One of them is the MAC Patent Paint Lip Lacquers. I don't have the full collection, but they did send me 6 of them to try, so we're going to be playing with those, and I will do swatches of each of those on my lips so you can see what they look like in use. I also have the new Urban Decay All Nighter Primer, as well as the Urban Decay All Nighter Matte Setting Spray. I'm super excited for these, especially because I have been hearing wonderful things about the primer. I'm very excited to have a primer to pair with my Stay Naked foundation because it doesn't work well with my usual favorite primer, and I've been looking for a replacement for that. Not a replacement, but just one that I can use when I wear this foundation, you know what I mean? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in the footage at all, but if you notice, there's huge bruises on the underneath of my arm. Nobody did anything to me. I know how rumors start on YouTube. I'm not kidnapped or anything. I've been doing some grappling and jujitsu along with my boxing, and quite frankly, I got. I just don't want to end up on the Philip DeFranco show, you know what I mean? I'm excited not only because these things are new and, you know, trying new stuff is always exciting, but also because I haven't filmed a video like this in a while. Let me know, do you like this kind of a video where you're trying new products for the first time? It's a little bit more casual, not like a super in-depth review. Leave a like on this video if that is the case, or just leave a like on this video because I'm needy and I would appreciate it. If you're new around here and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that because I would like you to. I don't think there's anything else that we need to talk about, so let's just get into it. Go back in time to before I had this entire face of makeup on, and we're going to start out by trying the new All-Nighter Primer from Urban Decay. So Urban Decay sent over a package with all their new All-Nighter releases. There's an All-Nighter Powder, which I actually haven't tried before. The All-Nighter Face Primer, which is completely new. There was no primer in the All-Nighter line before. And then the All-Nighter Setting Spray in an Ultra Matte version. And these two are existing setting sprays or just a restock on those. So I'm going to try the primer and the new version of the setting spray today for sure. So the primer is meant to be something that makes your makeup long lasting. It says it's lightweight, goes on sheer, leaving it feeling smooth, hydrated, and slightly lifted. So let's see if that's what we experience here. I already have a little concealer on my cheek because I had to run out for something and I have like a huge pimple there, so I put a little bit of concealer by itself over it, but I don't think it's anything that we need to worry about, wipe off or anything like that. So this is the primer packaging. It's a squeezy tube, but I think there's a pump in here. Yeah, the packaging kind of reminds me of the It Cosmetics CC cream style. It's like you could squeeze it but also pump it, which is usually really convenient. I'm gonna pop a couple pumpies on the back of my hand. Oh, I got it on my nose. I went to smell it and I got nothing into my nose. It doesn't smell like anything, which for a skin product is probably a very good thing. The consistency of it on the back of my hand seems almost like a balmy texture, like a moisturizing balm. It's thick, it's smooth. It has like a little bit of a tackiness to it, but not quite the tackiness that you get from something like the Milk Hydro Grip. I'm even going to take a little bit of this primer and put it like on the tops of my lids. I find that sometimes if I use my hydrating primer up there, it helps my lids look smoother once I prime them, whether I'm using concealer or a proper eye primer. I feel like my skin generally looks pretty dewy. It kind of feels like I just put moisturizer on, but a very light moisturizer, not something that's like very heavy on the skin. I'm not really feeling a lot of stickiness, which sometimes I feel like sticky primers make your makeup stick better, but I think that just might be like up here, you know? So I'm gonna use my Urban Decay Stay Naked today, and I'm gonna apply it with my e.l.f. sponge. Maybe it's my imagination, but I do feel like that looks especially smooth today, except for the giant pimple. You know the fucked up thing about this pimple is that I had no pimple there. I picked a blackhead like a month and a half ago, and then it was a pimple for like forever, and then it finally went away, and then I picked it again and now it's a pimple again. And quite frankly, I'm so annoyed with myself about it that I'm gonna hop out this back window, I'm gonna go out into the woods, and I'm just gonna go live in nature. I'm just gonna go away. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my skin and my eyes. I'm gonna do something on the neutral side because I don't want it to clash with the other product that I would like to try today, which is the new lip lacquers from MAC Cosmetics. I'm going to do swatches of all of those. So I'm going to try to keep it, I don't know if I'm going to keep it simple on the eyes, but I'm going to try to make it something that doesn't necessarily clash with any particular color. All right, well, first of all, I lied and I did something completely colorful on my lids, and I don't know how we got here, but here we are. But I just wanted to pop in before I finish my under eyes so I don't forget to mention, I wiped off my under eye makeup again with a makeup wipe just because I had a lot of fallout going on, and I reapplied some of the new primer with my ring finger and just dabbed it under my eyes, and I am having a different sensation than I was the first time, so I wanted to make sure I said it. It feels really smooth and hydrating and balmy, and I really like the way it feels. But what I didn't notice when I first put it on that I'm noticing now is that there's definitely a cooling sensation along with it, and I don't know if that has any sort of significant effect on how your skin looks, but it feels very nice and refreshing. But I did want to mention it because I just straight up didn't notice it for the first time for some reason. I don't know, but anyway, I'm gonna go continue this absolutely, definitely not neutral at all look, and then we will pop in and we'll test these MAC lipsticks. All right, so I wound up doing this look with the Novelist Secret palette, and I really like it. I'm hoping that it still goes well with all of the different lip shades. I find that teal goes with a lot of things, so I think we should be okay. So far, I'm very, very happy with the way my skin looks. I feel like the Stay Naked foundation and Stay Naked concealer are sitting really well on top of the primer. It doesn't look especially dewy or anything, even though it did look like my skin was dewy before I put makeup over the primer, but just in general, I think it looks really good. It's hard to tell with a primer unless you use it a bunch, like how it's gonna hold up. Like, we'll know a little bit better once we do the wear test today, but you know, even then, it's kind of one of those things where you need to see it under different circumstances. So we're gonna try it today and give our first impression, but I'll also like use this for the next week or two going forward and like let you guys know what I think on Instagram stories and stuff, because it's a more thorough answer usually. Now that I have my eye makeup and everything on, it's time for setting spray. Usually I do setting spray before I put lips on anyway, so that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to go ahead and use the new Ultra Matte All Nighter. It's the same normal all nighter packaging that we know and love. And you know, before anybody even comments, I know that I use a lot of pumps of setting spray, okay? I know I do. You don't need to leave a novel in the comments about how you think it's too many. You can just use less, and I'll use this many, and then everybody's gonna be great. It's gonna be fine. Smells like the original, feels like the original. And once it's dry, I'm going to zoom us all the way in. So not only can you get a look at what the setting spray looks like, whether it's like super matte or not, but also just how my skin looks in general. I think most of you guys are probably familiar with how this foundation looks on me because you see close-ups of me wearing it all the time. And see if the primer has made it look any better, any worse, the same, you name it. Hi, I'm back. It's been about 5 minutes though. I feel like the setting spray is good and dry at this point. Now, I think that it's pretty damn mattifying, and I'll tell you why. I had a lot of highlight on before I sprayed my face, and it toned it down significantly. Overall, I would say that my face looks a lot more matte than usual. I think this gives about the same level of matte finish as the Matte Fix Plus does, but this is the close-up of what my skin looks like right now, so you guys can see the nitty-gritty of it. I'll get even closer if you like. I turned my pimple into a mole, just FYI. Now the next item that I have here that I want to play with today, these are the new MAC Patent Paint Lip Lacquers. Here they are. I just couldn't even get it in the frame there for a second. It's a patent paint lip lacquer, so it's like a very high pigment, thick, glossy vinyl finish kind of a thing. There are 15 shades listed here. I believe they sent me 6 of those shades, and they also sent some lip pencils and a Prep and Prime lip primer with that, because they do suggest wearing it with the Prep and Prime lip primer as well as a lip pencil. So I am gonna swatch them by themselves so you guys can see what they look like just on their own. But I think that maybe for how I'm gonna wear it for the rest of the day and do our little check-ins, I will try it with the Prep and Prime and also a lip liner. So I'm gonna do some lip swatches here. I'm gonna cut it into a quick little montage for you guys, and I will also timestamp each of the shades that I have down below. So if there's one that you wanna jump to and like refer back to see if it's one that you would like, you could do that very easily. And then after that, we'll get into our wear test.
I love everything Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee?
For the wearings throughout my day portion of this, I chose to use the first shade that I swatched, which was Patent Pleasure. By itself, I felt like this was really peachy and light on me, but I paired it with the MAC Hover Lip Pencil, which is not one of the shades they sent me for this explicit purpose, but it was one that I already had, and I thought that maybe adding like a warm brownish shade that's a little bit darker would give it more of an effect. That would be something that I would wear more often. I paired it over the MAC Prep and Prime Lip Primer just to see if it made it feel any different. It kind of makes it feel a little bit tackier than it did by itself. As far as the colors, Varnished Reputation is so interesting, and I don't think I have like a lavender shade like this in this type of a finish, like definitely not. So I like having this because it is a little bit unique, and I like the two darker shades, Latex Love and Vinyl Underground, a lot. For me, the nude and pinkish shades were not really nudes and pinks that I generally gravitate toward, but now that I've mixed this one with a different liner, I actually do like the way it looks. So it's 3:44 p.m. right now. I am going to go live my best life for the rest of the day. And by live my best life, I mean I'm going to go import this video footage and start editing it, and then take Charlie for a walk, and then cook myself some food. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I will check in with you guys in a little bit. But before we go, come here a second. Come. I'm gonna zoom you in uncomfortably close again so you can take another peep at the skin. You can clock what the lips look like up close with the pencil and the Prep and Prime Fix Plus Lip Balm, whatever. What is this? Prep and Prime Lip Primer. That way we can pass a more thorough judgment on how it stays. All right, I'll check in with you guys in a few hours, but for you, it's gonna be like 1 second. It's 6:46 p.m., so it's been a little over 3 hours since I finished filming, probably closer to 4 since I applied the foundation. As far as the way it looks, so far it's holding up really well. This is not the point in which my makeup would start breaking down anyway. Usually my makeup starts breaking down after like 6, 7, maybe 8 hours if it does. But it does seem to be keeping the oils at bay. Everything still looks pretty much exactly as it did when I applied it. Maybe a little bit dewier right through here than it did after I applied the matte setting spray. But so far, everything is still remaining fairly matte. As usual, I did lose some chunks where my glasses go, but that is just the way the cookie crumbles, my friend. As for the MAC lip lacquer, it actually held up very, very well considering that I ate soup like 40 minutes ago, and nothing holds up through eating soup. I did lose quite a lot of the color that was on my lips, but it aged gracefully. I know that you guys probably are very familiar with the fact that there are some lipsticks that wear off and look absolutely atrocious, and some just sort of fade and disappear off into the ether and it still looks okay. This seems to be doing that. I did notice that when you first apply the lip lacquer, it has about as much shine as a gloss, but as it settles into your lips, it settles into more of like a satiny finish. I don't intend to wear this for a super long time today, but I will come back and check in with you guys one more time in a couple more hours to see if it keeps holding up as well over the next couple of hours, and also to just recap my thoughts on the products that we tried today. All right, it's 9:15 p.m. I just came upstairs and looked in the mirror. First of all, I forgot that I was doing this, and I started rubbing my lips, and I rubbed all of my lipstick off. So the lipstick has completely left the chat. In light of that, let's talk about the lipsticks first, actually. So the Patent Paint lip lacquers, I think I like these. I don't know that I am absolutely, unbelievably, unabashedly in love with them, but I do like the vinyl finish, and I did enjoy the way this looked on my lips when I combined it with a lip liner. I also really like these 3 shades a lot. I think that this one is really unique, and I liked the red and the plummy, deep, purpley, burgundy, aubergine, would you call this? I liked those a lot. I found them fairly flattering as far as how they emphasize the lines in my lips and stuff like that. Overall, I think they're a pretty solid lip product. I just kind of wish that the nudes were more like Nicole nudes, you know what I mean? One thing I do really like is the applicator. It's very flexible and it's nice and flat, which makes it very easy to apply, and I feel like it covers a lot of the lip at the same time. I also like that it picks up product on both sides because of the shape of it, so you can kind of swipe and then flip it and then swipe again. Just overall easy application process, and I like it. Now let's talk about the primer for a second. It's been about 6 hours and I feel like my foundation sat really nicely over it the whole time. Very few areas of my face look like the foundation's breaking up. I don't feel like anything is settling into any lines. It felt really nice on my skin. It felt almost like I was putting skincare on. I felt like it gave me a really good starting point for my foundation for sure. I'm going to keep wearing it throughout the next week or two and try to keep you guys updated. I'll either mention it again in a video or mention it on my Instagram story or both. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you might want to come over there for little updates and stuff like that and other things. It's a good time. And the setting spray seems to perform exactly like we expect all-nighter setting spray to perform, which is high class, #1. We love it. But it definitely looks more matte, which is pretty cool if you're somebody who gets really oily throughout the day. I think you could find this very handy. I really liked the Matte Fix Plus from MAC, and I would say that the all-nighter matte gave me about the same level of matteness added to my complexion as that did, except that Matte Fix Plus is not intended and doesn't really extend the life of your makeup. It doesn't make it wear any longer. It just kind of melts it into your skin, makes it sit nice, and can change the finish. But all-nighter does extend the life of your makeup, so I'm gonna say that I like both, but I like this better. Overall, I would say this was a pretty successful trying new products video because, oh God, sometimes does it go terribly wrong. Everything went really well today. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful, if you found it entertaining, if you just like my face, whatever it is that makes you want to leave a like on this video, go ahead and do it because I would really appreciate it. And also, if you are new around here, you have been lurking through a few videos and you've enjoyed hanging out with me and talking about makeup, then go ahead and subscribe because I would love to have you around for more of them in the future. Like I said, I'm at Miss Quinface on Instagram if you want to come find me over there. I do update makeup reviews on there sometimes. I also post other things that you won't see here on this channel, a little bit more artsy stuff, lip art, things like that. And you just get to see my day-to-day stuff on my stories. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've tried any of these products, and if so, what were your thoughts on them, because I would love to hear what your experience was as well. I think that's all for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you found it helpful. As always, I appreciate all of you taking the time, and I will see you in the next one.